stuck in a loop here and you don't even see it. And I get it. It's the same type of woman who has the same kind of attitude. And you guys have the same conversations. And you get the same ending. And you got the nerve to keep calling it bad luck? Nah, nephew, that's a pattern. And I'm going to say something that a lot of men avoid. Your matches, they're telling on you. It's not the app. It's not the women. It's not your timing. It's you. And don't get defensive on me because that's where men shut down and stay stuck. This isn't about shame, nephew. This is about awareness and control. Because if your results are repeatable, that means they're fixable. But you got to be honest about what you're putting out there. And a lot of men out here are talking about there's no good woman left, or dating apps are cooked, or I keep running into the same type. But you've never stopped and asked, what's my profile actually signaling? Because your profile, it ain't just pictures in a bio. It's your frame, it's your standards, it's your first impression before you even open your mouth. And nephews, if that's off, everything after that is going to be working against you. So tonight, we're locking in two things. I'm going to show you in real time how low effort profiles pull your energy every single time, no exception. And second, we're breaking down why you keep getting the same results, even when you swear you want something different. Because here's the truth, a lot of you men don't want to sit with. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you're aligned with. And if your outcome, it doesn't match your expectations, that's not bad luck, nephews. That's misalignment. So we're here to clean that up tonight. But we're not blaming women. We're not coping. No shortcuts. Just some real game that you could actually use. Because once you start to fix how you show up, nephews, I promise you that your options change. And when your options change, your life starts to change with it. So if you're tired of the same cycle, if you're ready to actually level up on how you move, then hit that subscribe button, lock in, and let's get to work. It's time to start swiping smarter. My name is William. I'm your certified unk tonight. Johnny, go ahead and introduce yourself.
So I'm Johnny Dumbbell. I'm a personal trainer and life coach out here in Pittsburgh. I'm not going to say beautiful. It is pouring down rain behind me out this window. But what I'm here to do is I'm here to show you sometimes what not to do and often what to do. But remember, we are your favorite uncles for a reason. There are stories about us that people know. There are stories about us that people couldn't forget if they tried. The point of that is, though, is usually those stories have something to do with our failures. And that's what we've learned the most from in life. We are your screw-up uncles. And if you are thinking of doing something that we've probably done, or even if it just sounds stupid, something that maybe you shouldn't, do without a little bit further thought and consultation. Maybe it sounds fiscally or financially irresponsible, dangerous, whatever it happens to be. Put it in the live chat. Shoot us an email. I'll be putting that in the live chat in just a moment. Talk to us first, because chances are one or both of us has done that and found out the hard way why you don't do it. Remember, guys, let us be a source. We screwed up so you don't have to. All right.
All right, nephews. Tonight, we're swiping smarter. So what does that mean? That means that we're breaking down some Bumble dating profiles, and we're going to give you the game on how to read between the lines, because I got to be honest here with you. The things that some of these women say publicly, that's not typically what they respond to.
Bruh.
So we're here to show you the difference. And look, you got to understand, Johnny and I have a philosophy that as men, we're supposed to lead by example. So that's why we're on my Bumble profile tonight. We're going through the matches that Bumble has given me randomly of the women in the Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Youngstown area. And you know what? We might even find a match or two for me as well tonight. You got to understand, Johnny is very goal-oriented. So he has set a challenge for me tonight to get 3 right swipes. So nephews, I am looking for 3 profiles that I'm in alignment with. 3 women that I might enjoy an evening with, and 3 chances to change some woman's life for the best. So let's get into this tonight and call in with your questions. We got our call-in numbers open. And if it's not dating, Johnny is a fitness expert, nephew. We could answer anything that you're struggling with. You just have to admit that you're struggling with something first and actually call up or write in, and we got you. All right, without further ado, Johnny.
Let's do this.
Looks like we got Brooke here. First profile tonight. I really need an overlay, if I'm being honest, Johnny. I need an overlay to where y'all can't see my little DMs in the corner there. You know what, nephews? I'll tell you what. One day we are going to have a episode that's just about my DMs. We're also going to do, Johnny, an episode that's just about my profile, but we're not there yet, nephews, because you got to understand, we want to lead by example for you, but we're not trying to make this about us. We're trying to make this about you and how you can better your situation in your life. So, okay, Johnny, we got Brooke here. She's 39. Very first thing I noticed, sir, is there is no bio.
Oh, come on, man. Brooke's just reeling them in with her pictures, isn't she?
It must, Johnny, that must be it. I mean, look, not for nothing, nephews, but
young men, she wouldn't do it if it didn't work.
No bio at 39. No bio at 39. That's information. It signals low effort presentation, and it relies on photos to carry it. Let's see what else we got here, Johnny. Okay. She's holding the fish up. And the first prompt here says, something my family taught me about love is you might not always get what you give, but what you give will always show your character.
That sounds like a sense of self accountability. I like it.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so she's telling us, Johnny, she's been in situations where she's given more than she's gotten. I would say this kind of also signals that she values effort, consistency, character. I know most people do, but there's also, okay, and I might be reading into this, and please, sir, correct me if I'm wrong. Are you picking up some past disappointment or bitterness that this may be signaling?
I don't know if I would say bitterness, but I think that it might even just be a cynicism. I believe for a long time that even in good relationships, different of various types, you still will get out almost as much as you put in. And, I think that little bit is that little bit of yourself you're willing to leave behind. But, I think we are all kind of used to being shortchanged on that particular wavelength, no matter what type of relationship we're talking about. So it could be that too.
All right, nephews, this is not a red flag, but I'd tell you that this is not neutral either. This is a woman who pays attention to how she's treated. She's going to measure you over time, and she more than likely is sensitive to imbalance. I would tell you, don't overcompensate by trying to prove your character. You got to let your consistency speak. You don't perform to a woman like this.
If you perform, it's an audition. Yeah, we don't do that.
John, I don't like the no bio. Nephews, it's not, when there's no bio on a profile, it doesn't matter if the woman's in her 20s, in her 30s, in her 40s. If she's not telling you who she is, you don't fill in the blanks. You need to slow down.
Yeah.
Low information, and I'm telling you, this goes for Bumble, Hinge, even Tinder. Low information means you proceed with awareness, not excitement.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we have here. She says, My dream is to find a positive in whatever life brings my way.
Bless that bitch.
Okay,
All
so
right, we
she
got Susie
values,
Sunshine here. I like it.
yeah, she values peace and emotional stability. And look, now this is something I can recognize about my own program, Johnny. You know, I don't like it when women bring any kind of chaos into my life. My life is really structured and routine. It's like I shout out to Kevin Gates. I got 6 full-time jobs, bro. I don't get tired. I can't have women who bring chaos into my life. So I can at least appreciate a woman who wants a man who doesn't bring chaos into her life. She's
Yeah, I mean,
likely had stress and negativity in past relationships.
yeah, there's definitely a structure and a caution there that's on display.
Now, this sounds light, but Johnny, I'd actually say this is kind of a filter. She's not looking for complaining or some kind of emotional heaviness or unstable energy. This a prompt like this is a woman who's looking for calm presence, positive leadership, and to be honest with you, nephews, emotional control. And a lot of you lose women like this because you bring pressure and not peace.
Yeah, I mean, she's bringing a vibe of structure, but not the boss lady vibe. I mean, I think that she's looking to be led, but man, you better know what you're doing.
Okay, prompt 3 here. She says, I show I care by words of affirmation and physical affection. This is where a lot of men mess up, Johnny. I think, okay, does she require verbal reassurance and physical closeness? Or is this something that she wants? Like that, you know what I mean? Like she's performing for.
Well, I think it's something that she's projecting out there that she wants both ways, maybe. But I feel like the question is more directed at what she does herself in that situation.
Okay, but so she's responsive to attention and warmth, right?
Yeah.
But Johnny, I got to tell you, most women do that with my masculine presence. All right, so I'm getting a little ahead of myself.
No, say it in your sexy voice.
All right, nephews, balance is the game on this one here. I'm not somebody who gives a lot of compliments. Johnny, what's the compliment rule?
1 per night maximum. And you
Okay,
and make it be something true.
yeah, it has to
Don't,
be a
don't you know,
genuine compliment. And I need you to understand that constant complimenting can be seen as a form
oh
of
God.
validation. So you don't, that's a whole other topic. But my point is the physical affection. There should be a natural physical escalation between the two of you, not forced, not timid, more like inevitable. And that comes from your masculine presence, nephews. Now, I got to tell you, overall, looking at the profile, I got to say, Brooke here has a pretty positive mindset. She values character, and she's kind of even clear on how she gives and receives care. But there's no bio, so this is low effort and low filtering. Possible past imbalance. And
But I gotta say, modesty is your thing, fellas, though. I mean, notice, so we've got a lot of really pretty pictures of her, nice smile, everything like that. Not a whole lot of skin being shown here. But yet the photos do seem a bit expressive.
well, okay, so the photos they even signal a little bit that she's emotionally steady and consistent, and like you were saying, she's not
She's
showing
not
skin,
craving
so they're not
validation.
performative.
Yep.
I like
I mean,
a
I just
woman
think
who's
that's worthy of note.
affectionate.
Yeah.
I like a woman who's affectionate but not needy.
Yeah.
So, and I have to tell you, one of the most important things that I find for women I'm in alignment, they have to have like positive, grounded presence.
Yeah.
All right, nephews. Let me give you some real game here because this is where you separate yourself. A lot of you would look at this profile and think, oh, easy, nice, she's a positive person. And then you go and you start over texting, over validating, and trying to be the good guy, and you lose her.
Like we
And you
tell you
wonder
not
why.
to do.
It's because she didn't ask for the effort overload. She asked for consistency, pressure, presence, and balance.
Yeah, and
And
young men, semi-pro tip. If you have to start asking yourself if you think you're texting too much, you've already probably texted too much. Just gonna let you go ahead and take that one home for free. That's a freebie.
you don't move this woman by trying to rush to impress her. You don't validation dump on her, and you have to let her experience your character over time. Nephews, be a man of mystery. This is a perfect example of tonight's lesson. This woman here is not confusing. She's telling you exactly who she is. Most men just don't know how to read it.
Yeah, man,
So
believe
they
her.
respond the wrong way, and you got to start creating your own problems. Now, I'm going to pass on this one. I'm really not much of a fisher, but I do like her profile.
See, I like the outdoorsy chicks. I might be inclined to go right on this one just for that.
All right. If you were going to grade this profile, Johnny, what would you grade this as?
I'm gonna give it a C plus just because of the no bio. But I gotta tell you, she does put across some really attractive pictures without, again, not showing a whole lot of skin. And yet it does still show a bit of her personality. Like you said, you touched on this, is it does kind of bring across some sort of level-headedness to where she's not putting something out there as a thirst trap. She's not putting something out there as, well, here's my personality, but just in case you don't like me, lean and squeeze. We're not seeing that here. We're just kind of seeing what you see is what you get. It demonstrates activities she likes to do. And, like you said, the subtle underlying implication of kind of guy she's looking for. You're not an outdoorsy camping, fishing kind of guy. I love it. I would have gone right. But that's just kind of a personal preference of mine.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna swipe left on her, but in nephews, this is why we do this show. It's not really about finding me women. I can find more women on Bumble than I ever have time to go out with. It's because of how my profile set up. This is to show you what to look for and how to break down profiles that are kind of similar to this, so you know for your own experience. So while I think it's a solid profile, I am going to pass on this one tonight, Johnny.
Yeah. Later, Brooke.
All right, let me preview this next profile. Nephews, we have to preview each and every profile before we share it on my screen tonight. And I just got to make sure that there is nothing in here that is going to get me in trouble. All right, Johnny, I'm pretty sure we can share this next one.
All right, let's do it.
One second here. All right, our next profile tonight, Johnny. We got Anna, 41. She's a nurse.
Oh, yeah.
Side note, I love nurses, Johnny. I really do. They are so much fun. All right, about Anna. She does have a bio. It is 3 words. It says ride or die.
Bruh.
It says she drinks socially. First prompt says, what if I told you that it's flat? She's saying it ain't poking out, Johnny.
Oh, man.
And then we got some pictures, and that's it.
Does a lot of planks.
Um,
Yeah, it sure is flat. Yeah, she led with it though. I mean, I actually probably wouldn't have noticed. It actually wasn't the greatest quality picture. I mean, picture quality, I should say.
well, I mean, she kind of had me at nurse, and then it went downhill from there.
No, I went straight down.
On a dirt bike.
I didn't say it. She said it. It's okay to joke about it. She started it.
Okay, well, I mean, this is an attractive woman,
Yeah,
41, but
Bruh.
this
kind of got
profile
that.
is all right. It
Yeah,
looks
it's
like
pretty
there's
vague.
not a lot here, but okay, nephews, let me tell you something about this. First thing, the ride or die bio. Let's start with that. 3 words, but this is kind of loud. That's personality. I, as far as it's more of a persona. Okay. What she's really saying, to me at least, is that loyalty matters to her, but it's probably likely from chaos.
Oh,
Um, she identifies with the intensity over stability is really what I mean here. And she could be advertising how she shows up, Johnny, not really
sure.
who she is. Ride or die sounds attractive to a lot of you men. I get that because you want a loyal woman. What you need to understand, though, is that this type of energy, what it comes with. Yeah, there's really high highs, but there's also really low lows because this signals emotional intensity. I know you guys are thinking loyalty, but there's also a dysfunction there. All right. I'm saying she doesn't want calm. She wants a bond. Now, the nurse thing, nurses, like I tell you, nephews, all the time, nurses are fun. I think each and every one of you watching tonight should
Yeah,
date a nurse.
yeah. I mean, it's going to be experience.
All right. Well, okay. They work long shifts. It's a very high stress job, and it can be an emotionally draining environment. But these women, they're used to chaos, urgency, and pressure. And I got to tell you that what this kind of creates, at least in my experience with a lot of nurses, they normalize intensity and they need strong decompression outside of work. And
That's one way
they
of
can
putting it.
swing between nurturing and needing to be poured into. Okay, if you don't have structure, you're going to get pulled into her pace instead of leading with your own. And that's when you start following a woman and will go downhill from there. And I know I'm reading a lot into that just by her job title in 3 words. Um, Now this, Johnny, if I told you that it's flat. Okay, so I like a woman who can have a little bit of sexual humor.
Yeah, I mean,
All right, because yes, she's signaling that she's comfortable being provocative. And well, honestly, Johnny, I see this. Um, I'm certified unk over here. She's leading with sexual energy and not personality. So she's testing what kind of man you are, nephew. And this is where a lot of you guys are going to lose control because you see that and you automatically go to over sexual. You automatically go to thirsty ass thoughts. You automatically go on trying to match this kind of energy immediately. And what you've actually done is you've disqualified yourself. And now you wait, Unc, what are you talking about? Why? Because nephew, this woman is not flirting here. She's filtering. All right.
yeah.
She wants to see if you can stay grounded, if you can handle sexual energy without losing your frame. And that's important. You can't let these women move you off your square with their body. What kind of principles do you have? Let's be
Yeah,
honest
that's
here, nephew. There's no depth to this profile at all. There's a 3-word bio and 1 sexual prompt. So she's expecting these pictures to do the heavy lifting. Low information means you can't assume
when
alignment.
she clearly didn't do her deadlifts.
You got to slow down and observe.
and you don't invest in something like this too early. Now, my overall read, honestly, Johnny, is high energy. She's likely very fun and playful, but maybe unpredictable.
Or stabby.
And she leads with vibe over substance. She really said stabby.
Maybe. You never know.
All right.
That's why we have a vetting process.
Understand that she's not showing you any kind of values. She's not. All right. One of the biggest things you should be looking for on these apps is compatibility. And for you to be compatible with a woman, you have to have a certain lifestyle alignment. So she's not showing you that. She's also not showing you if she has any relationship depth either. Now, I would say the type of man she pulls here with this profile, nephews, this is important because she's going to attract guys who chase a sexual energy. She's going to attract guys who get caught in that vibe. She's going to attract guys who mistake intensity for connection. But here's the real game for you, nephews. And this is where you can separate yourself from everybody else on this app. You do not punish her for this profile, but you also don't get swept up into it. You want to know how to move? Anki will tell you how to move. You stay playful but controlled. You don't escalate sexually right away or at all. I usually prefer to let women start bringing up sex as conversation, and it happens fairly quickly. Once they get comfortable with you, they start talking about that stuff, but you let them escalate it. You don't. But what you need to do is ask questions that bring her out of this whole vibe lane and watch how she responds when things get real. Here's the truth. A lot of you guys would say she looks fun, she's my type, and get caught up in a cycle that you can't control. And this is a perfect example of tonight's theme, Johnny. This woman here is not confusing. She's telling you exactly what lane she's in. Most men just see the surface, and then you guys complain about the outcome later.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence about this. Hey, is Minnie Mom in the chat tonight? Minnie Mom,
she is. Minnie Mom's there. By the way, the Pens won in a shootout, 4-3. Let's go, Pens!
Shout out to the Pens. Honestly, Minnie Mom, I could go either way on this one, left or right. I can read a little deeper into the profile, and I have a program she's going to have to follow, and I wouldn't get swept up in it, but oh no, Johnny, it's flat.
Bruh.
I mean, look. The thing of it is, though, you don't want to play doctor with her because she knows how the doctor's office really works. Playing doctor's not going to be kinky to her. It's pretty much you sit her, have her wait in the living room, and then ignore her for an hour and a half. That's how you play doctor.
All right, I'm passing on this one. All right, let me check out Princess real quick, Johnny.
I'm only kind of exaggerating on that. That's the sad part.
Man, I get so tired of this. You know, Johnny, we do this quite often. Every week, we're really consistent. How many profiles do we see that actually blow me away and impress me and make me say,
I mean, not many.
Not many. So Johnny, I can't figure out for the life of me. And we can talk about this for a minute. Just give me 1 second here. And nephews, call up with your questions. Let me get her number up. All right.
All right. So before we check out Princess's profile, Johnny, let's talk about let's take a few minutes of our show tonight and talk about how unimpressive some of these women's profiles are. And
Yeah.
You guys pedestalize women. And let's keep it honest here because I want to make this useful. You guys do this because of a lack of options. All right? A man, a lot of you don't have consistent access to women. So you overvalue one that you do have. You nephews, you need to understand that they're not special or they're just rare in your reality. So this is why you overinvest, overthink, and you overcommit way too early because the scarcity has created an illusion for you. Now you combine that with your validation seeking behavior because it's not a connection. All right. A lot of men, they're not dating to connect. They're dating because you guys want to feel chosen. So when a woman gives you a little bit of attention, you start to think, oh, I can't lose this. I need her to be happy. You allow this woman to start regulating your nervous system. And then the next thing that happens is you're negotiating for her approval. And now she's on a pedestal. And if you need a woman to validate you, you've already lost your position, nephew.
Yeah, the only way you've led there is you taught her how to treat you.
And shout out to Uncle Johnny. He's always talking about know who you are. Because if a man doesn't know who he is, he will let a woman define his worth every single time.
Uncle Bill, do you remember 15 years ago now? When I got the one and only tattoo that I actually have across my shoulder blades, what does it say in Latin? Nocete ipsum, right? Know thyself.
Know thyself, right?
That was right after the divorce.
All right. Well, here's the thing. When you guys let a woman start to define your worth, you associate her attention with your value. You associate your mood with her stability. And your confidence is tied to her approval. Now she's the center of your universe and you're orbiting her. So a man without direction is always going to place someone else above him. And that's kind of what we want you to understand with a lot of this that we are trying to teach you here. I think another reason you guys pedestalize some of these women is because you misunderstand attraction. You think if I treat her like she's perfect, she'll like me even more. Wrong.
Let me show her how agreeable, safe, and predictable I am.
Well, that's exactly it, Johnny, because what actually happens is once he becomes predictable, he removes the tension. All right. And then you stop being a challenge, and then inevitably attraction drops. Respect isn't built through worship. It's built through presence and standards. Now, I would say there's probably an idolization over reality. All right, men don't pedestalize women. They pedestalize the idea of the woman, and then they fill in the gaps with fantasy, assumptions, and potential instead of asking, what is this woman actually showing me? So you fall for what you imagine and not for what's real.
Yep.
Something else, Johnny, we talk about this, is living in abundance versus scarcity. Some men fear the loss of the woman, and because they believe this lie. And I hate to be the one to tell you this. Johnny loves to be the one to tell you this, but I hate to be the one to tell you this. You think that you won't find another one like her, but nephew, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. You just don't tolerate bad behavior. Okay. Set boundaries. Do not avoid setting boundaries, especially early.
And whatever you do, don't stay quiet when you should speak, nephews. Because when you start fear losing her, you're going to start losing yourself every single time.
Bruh.
Yep.
Now, you don't pedestalize women, nephews. Real men, we observe and evaluate them over time. And women are not above you. They're also not below you. You got to understand she's in front of you and your job is simple. Does she qualify for access to your time, energy, and attention? That's what we're talking about here. Now, men don't lose these women because they didn't do enough. They lose these women because they gave too much without being grounded. Now, I say all of this about pedestalizing women because I want you to understand how unimpressive most women are. They're like little kids with dirty hands. A lot of these women are 2 paychecks away from being evicted, from losing their it's just a mess. So when I do find a solid profile, when I do meet a solid woman, I take note. I'm very impressed, especially when there's minimal chaos in her life without any kind of direction or leadership. But most of the profiles I run into are kind of like this next one here with Princess. And I'm not knocking her. We're not judging her. We're just observing that she's putting forth low effort in these profiles. And hey, nephews, don't get me wrong. If you want a woman that's going to put low effort into you, call into the show. Uncle Johnny and I will give you the game on how to get a woman that's going to put low effort and ignore you if that's what you need.
Don't everybody call at once.
Bruh.
I just want you nephews to understand that when a man pedestalizes, he stops seeing things clearly. And when you stop seeing things clearly, you start choosing wrong. All right, Johnny, we got Princess 36. About Princess, no bio. It does say that Princess here is a frequent drinker.
You had me a freak.
Teach me something about anything I don't know.
Wow. This
My
is
real
that
life
girl that's
super-
on a date with you and is on her phone the entire time, giving you one-word answers to open-ended questions.
What? All right. I don't want to get off track. You just distracted me because I've never been on a date where a woman was on her phone and gave me one word. Usually they forget they even have a phone when they're with me. She says, my real life superpower is I'm the best gift giver.
Bless that bitch.
Maybe she figured that first picture with her hypnotic gaze, deep into the soul of the camera lens.
All right, Johnny, we're going to pass on this one. I'd rather spend our time teaching the nephew something they could actually use. Something useful. Oh, you can go for about 20 more minutes tonight, Johnny?
I think we're good for that. Yeah.
Okay. Let's check out Allison here. Okay. All right, I can show this one. Johnny, I think she's been on the show before. There's a picture on here I remember.
All right. We like repeat guests.
All right, next profile. Sorry, we have Allison 45. About Allison. I am someone who values joy, beauty, freedom, and genuine connection. I am an eternal optimist and I see the best in everyone. I'm also the person who holds up the grocery line because I have accidentally started a super deep conversation with the cashier.
No. See, I'm leaving now.
All right, so she drinks socially. We got a prompt here. It says, I'm happiest when I'm hanging out with my toddler daughter. She is so sweet, funny, and joyful. Another prompt here. This is the picture I remember, Johnny, where it says Pittsburgh on the bus. Next prompt. My real life superpower is my intuition and my ability to find a silver lining in just about any gray cloud life sends me.
Bless that bitch.
Last
I know
prompt.
I know where she's at in that picture. That's the Heinz History Museum.
My simple pleasures are hot coffee and a slow morning, listening to music with somebody who shares my musical taste, summer sunsets, and putting my bare feet in clear creeks, long hugs. All right,
I mean,
so
the
where's
creek
she
thing,
at?
the outdoors thing's cool.
You said that she's at what? I'm just
The
curious.
outdoors. What's that?
You said she was where in that picture?
Oh, the Heinz History Museum. It's over by the Strip District here in Pittsburgh.
Okay. All right, let's see here. When it says she's open to kids, that must mean she's open to you having kids. You know what I mean? Like somebody having kids.
Yep. I just hope I don't get stuck behind her in the grocery line now.
All right, Johnny. Let's see here. Happiest fun hanging out with my toddler daughter. Chat, call in with your questions. If you got questions about this profile, any profiles, and especially your own profile, Uncle Johnny and I want to hook you up.
Or if you got a great story about online dating you'd like to tell on our show, let's hear it.
Yeah, we'd love it, nephews. Okay, we're about to break down Allison here, 45. First impression, Johnny, this is probably our first high effort profile this evening. So there's probably some high, maybe even high emotion, but we'll get to that.
All right, let's see if this is worth me putting my glasses on.
She gave us values, lifestyle, personality, energy, and this already separates her from 80% of the profiles we're going to come across tonight. I like, okay, so this is something I haven't done yet, but I need to. Spotify, because she, you know what, she even says something right here about listening to music with someone who shares my musical taste. I gotta say, there is something to that, because I'm a little more compatible with women that listen to the same kind of music that I listen to. So, you know, there is definitely
I don't have any. I don't have any statistics about that in front of me as far as my dating life, but I do think that someone's taste in music does at least give you some sort of insight. Yeah.
Well, I like profiles that tell us how women move.
Yep.
You know, because nephews, profiles like this show you what you're signing up for. All right.
Scratching the surface, don't mind you, but
see the best in everyone. Okay, this is kind of a romantic profile. She has an idealistic lens on life. I'd say she's very social, very open, and she leans into connection quickly. This is a woman who leads with feelings first and logic second. Now,
that's pretty normal.
Well, I mean, that can feel amazing early on, but it also means she overlooks red flags. She may connect quickly and deeply, and she's going to expect emotional presence from you early on. Just don't get swept up in her energy and
Yeah,
assume that you have
that's
alignment with her. Now, what really sticks out to me is I'm happiest when I'm with my toddler daughter. I like this because it shows that she's a mother first. Her life has structure and responsibility. And nephews, this is key because it tells you that her availability is not wide open.
not only that, but it should come as no shock to you that bad mothers probably make bad girlfriends and wives too.
Well, a lot of you men ignore this and then you get frustrated later. If you
Mm.
deal with a woman like this, you're going to have to deal with her schedule, you're going to have to deal with her priorities, and you earn your place with her over time. There's no shortcuts with someone like this. Um the Pittsburgh lifestyle, I think this picture might tell us, the picture probably tells us actually quite a bit that she's active out in the world. This is not a woman who's just sitting at home, Johnny. Um, she might even be community oriented, and she's not looking for a man to entertain her because she already has a life. She wants someone that's going to fit into it, not that needs to create it. The intuition too. My superpower is intuition. Nephews, I would say pay attention to this because she's signaling she trusts her feelings heavily and that she believes she can read people. Now, she'll make decisions based on vibe and not facts. And this is big because women who lean on intuition, they will pick up on your energy quickly. And they'll also sometimes misread things emotionally. You don't argue with that. You stay consistent, you stay grounded, so your behavior speaks louder than her interpretations. Coffee, slow mornings, long hugs. She values presence over pace. And I see this with a lot of profiles, Johnny. They want connection and not chaos, and they enjoy sensory emotional experiences. So this is not
Stimulation, yeah.
this is not a let's go out and party kind of woman. This is a slow burn, nephews. This is an emotional connection. This is shared experiences. And a lot of you guys mess this up. You rush escalation. You overtalk and overshare. And you try to impress her instead of being present. Now,
Well, not only that, but you have no idea what it is that actually impresses her before you try to impress her in most cases.
all right, so my overall profile read here is that there are some green flags. There's high effort, there's clear values. She does have a positive mindset and she is family oriented. But there are some cautions. Like I said, she can be highly emotional. Intuitive can mean misreading or moving
Yep.
fast emotionally. And idealistic. Okay, she sees the best in people, but she's probably going to ignore reality early. I would say a woman like this requires patience and consistency if this is something you want to take on. She's looking for men who are calm and grounded, emotionally available, and just consistent. And this is where a lot of you guys mess
Well,
up. You see a woman like this and you start thinking stuff like, oh, this is wife material. Let me lock this in as fast as I can. And then you overinvest early. You start with the future talking.
yeah.
And I'm going to
Oh
make a
God,
whole
yeah.
video on how and why to avoid future talking. Now, if you just try to match her emotional depth, but don't do it too quickly or you're going to lose her. She didn't ask for intensity in his profile. She's asking for presence and alignment. So just slow things down, stay grounded in yourself, and build a connection naturally. I don't know, Johnny. I'm passing on this one. It's not
Yeah, I
there
mean,
for me.
yeah, doesn't seem to be the type. I think it's good. It's a good profile and everything like that. I think that really does provide some good insight. But if it's not your thing, it's not your thing.
See if I can find one that's more than 10 words. Damn.
By the way, while he's doing that, if anybody wants to send in maybe some screenshots of your profile, have us break it down for you. My email is in the live chat, and we'll cover that next Thursday.
Bro. I can't.
What happened?
I really can't. Some of these profiles are embarrassing. Really.
Oh man.
Johnny.
See, now I feel like I got to see this.
I've went through at least 8 of them. And here, this is what they're looking for. I'm looking for something we can use to teach the guys, at something. And I'm getting a lot of profiles like this: women in their mid 30s who frequently drink. My ideal quality time is good conversation. Perfect first date is something different / new. That's it.
Wow.
6 words for the whole profile. This is like the 4th or 5th one in a row. No bio. Be there and be affectionate. Grow together and be better versions of each other. You got to be kidding me.
Wow.
Why would I want to go have a drink with somebody?
She did miss a couple of company lines.
Having a big heart and caring too much. All right, bro, we're about to rock with this one just because she took the time to fill it out better than some of these other women have. And
be a good time for me to have a drink.
Bruh. Oh, Johnny, all right.
All right.
Give me a second here. Nephews, call up. We're going to be live for 5 or 10 more minutes.
I didn't say it. The reaction implied it.
Oh man. Okay. So we'll break down this profile. I don't know. Maybe Johnny, is it time for me to download Tinder? Should we just start doing some Tinder episodes and tell them how to close the deal, how to do the DMs, how to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll have to kind of learn the logistics of being able to read the bio, though, because it's a little bit harder to see in Tinder because you got to click on like 2 different things. I've heard.
All right. Well, it's going to be the last profile for the night, Johnny.
All right, guys, here we go. Last one of the evening.
We have Living the Dream is her name, 49. About living the dream. Accepting applications, apply within. Looking to meet someone to spend time with and see where it can go. While my expectations aren't high for the Bumble, it's like playing the lottery. You can't win if you don't play. Then we have a prompt here, Johnny. It says, the last note I wrote on my phone says, probably a list of all my Amazon returns or grocery list.
I got my grocery list in mine.
Prompt here says, I get way too excited about a day off work. And then a real generic prompt here. It says, when my phone dies, I charge it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's probably where I would have gone with it. That's a stupid prompt.
Okay. Johnny, do we want to talk about notes? The stuff that
I
women
mean, the
write
bio
in
was
their-
eye catching, you know.
Okay, well, okay, the bio, I get it. She set it up like application.
Well, I
That's
mean,
what
it
all
was
these
funny.
blank spaces I think are for. I think she's trying to be funny and
Hmm.
like you're filling out an old school application or something. But hold on one second here. All right, I'll break this down and then we could talk about something and then we'll wrap this up. I get off track, Johnny. I get through these profiles and then I see something and it wants to lead me to something and I want to talk about something else. And I'm just trying to redirect my energy tonight.
We're a couple of tangents going off on tangents.
Okay. Living a dream. This is a low investment profile, Johnny. Low expectation.
I mean, it sounds to me like it really sounds to me like she's just kind of hanging this profile out there as an extra line. If somebody snags it, great.
Right,
You know, I mean, which is fine, but
casual.
it definitely does kind of scream. I don't
Casual.
want to say low effort, but vagary.
I mean, even the name "Living the Dream," it's not just that could be a mindset. That could be this woman's mindset.
Yeah.
She could be signaling that she's not serious, doesn't want pressure, or she's maybe even a little sarcastic about her life.
Or her name is Liv, and she's in the dream.
Get way too excited about day off work. Bro, you know what's sticking out to me is the notes. The last note on my phone says, and you know what? I see women. Okay, I don't go through phones. I'm not one of them dudes that goes through phones. If I think I even need to go through a phone,
Yeah,
I'm out before I even need to go through a phone. It's okay. But
And the main reason for that is, let's say you do break down and you go through that phone. Okay, you don't find anything this time, but guess what? You're probably going to go through it again. You're probably going to go through it again. And the thing of it is that once you get into that habit of repetition, then no matter how trustworthy she is, you're never going to be at peace with yourself. That is just a recipe for toxicity, man. You don't need it.
okay, so when y'all go through these phones, let's talk about what women really keep hiding in their notes. Okay, because the things that they have in these notes, nephews, they contain thoughts that they don't feel safe, ready, or even interested in saying out loud.
Mhm.
But I want to break this down because I need you to understand how women think, nephews. Women think in layers, and the note app, well, it becomes a place for them to vent, a place for them to sort feelings, a place for them to say things without consequence. Because not everything is meant to be shared in real time. Some women, at least in my experience, process internally first and then decide what version the world gets. And this is like they'll do this with unsent messages. It's kind of like a self-control tool. All right. They write text that they want to send, responses they're holding back, emotional reactions they don't want to regret. And the Notes app becomes a filter between emotion and action. So that's actually a form of emotional regulation, not deception. Some women, they're going to keep notes on how somebody made them feel. They're going to keep notes on things said during an argument. They're going to keep notes on patterns that they don't want to ignore. and they're not always being sneaky, but you got to understand in their mind, they're trying not to forget what mattered. Now, this comes down to safety and trust issues with a woman. If a woman's been misunderstood, if she's been dismissed, if she's been repeatedly gaslit, or even judged for expressing herself, she'll stop saying everything out loud. She's going to store it privately. So the Notes app becomes a safe place without risk. You got to understand that speaking something out loud equals exposure. So when they write it down, that's kind of a form of control. She can reword it, delete it, never send it to begin with. It's not always about hiding it from you, but it is about how she processes the way she expresses herself. And look,
Man,
don't just hear that she keeps notes and jump to that she's hiding something. All right. That's really weak thinking. But instead, you need to ask, what kind of environment does she feel safe expressing herself in? I'm telling you, nephews, if she feels judged, misunderstood, or in some circumstances rushed, she's going to start keeping things to herself. All right, but here's the balance, and there is a line here. If a woman never communicates directly, if she only processes things privately, if she brings up things later that were never discussed, this becomes more of a communication problem and not just a habit.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Nephew, her Notes app isn't the problem. It's whether she can bring what's in there into a real conversation. All right. So just like the profiles, they're not confusing. She's communicating. It's just not always in a way that men can recognize. And your job isn't to assume, it's to observe, it's to lead, it's to create a space where real communication can actually happen.
by the way, Jessie the Yinzer cat here is making her appearance. She's got this main character syndrome thing going on, man. I don't know what her thing is.
Another profile where I'm. All right, Johnny, I'll tell you what. We've been at this for over an hour. All right, nephews, let's bring this home tonight. Because if you take nothing else from tonight, I want you to take this. Most of you aren't out here struggling because women are confusing. You're out here struggling because you're not seeing clearly. You're misreading what's right in front of you. Some of you are flat out ignoring it. And then you get mad at the outcome later. Nah, we showed you tonight over and over that these women are telling you who they are in the bios, in the prompts, in the tone, in the energy. Your job as a man, it's not to chase it. It's to read it. It's to evaluate it. It's to decide if it aligns with how you move. And on the other side of that, nephews, we had to get honest about something a lot of men avoid. Your results. They're not random. Your matches, they're a reflection of how you're showing up. Your profile, your standards, your energy. And that's what's coming back to you. If you don't like what you're seeing, don't get mad, get better. Tighten up your profile, tighten up your standard, tighten up your discipline. Because when you fix how you show up, you stop getting caught in cycles that don't serve you. You start moving with intention. And that's the difference, nephews. This isn't about blaming women. This is about becoming the kind of man who sees clearly, who moves with purpose, and who doesn't waste time on confusion, real or imagined. Look, so tonight gave you something. If something clicked for you, don't just sit on it. Please apply it. And if you're serious about leveling up how you move in dating and like and everything, then hit that subscribe button. Tap in with us every week, because this, nephews, this isn't just content. This is how men sharpen themselves. Now go forth and conquer. John, you got anything to say before we wrap this up?
Yeah, focus for the week. Focus for at least the rest of this weekend until we see you on Monday night and beyond. Remember that there are going to be uncontrollables in just about every situation you're going to find yourself in. We know that. Those should not be determining the outcome. What should be determining the outcome is your decisions, your good decision making, and knowing what you can do based on controlling what is controllable. So between now and then, we've got a long weekend. Don't overspend, don't go crazy, and keep the drugs and alcohol to a minimum. But if you do drink, don't drive. And if you do drive, don't park, because accidents cause people. Wrap that rascal. Good night.
Appreciate you watching, nephews. God bless.
Yeah.